Fantastic day ahead of us. Really a nice week all in all, but we got a kind of a cool start this morning. Nothing to get too worried about, but just kind of chilly in spots.
It is kind of cool, not as cold as yesterday morning, but several locations dropping into the 30s, including around Kingsport, Gate City, Jonesville, and also in the 30s, Mountain City, Boone, North Carolina. Others in the 40s, including Greenville, Abingdon 43, and notice Wise and Richlands, they're near 50. That's because they're seeing a very light breeze out of the south, so it's those locations a little bit warmer where the wind is calm. Cold air is sinking down into these sheltered valleys, including Shady Valley, 31 there, mid-30s, Norton, Honaker, and also in Itza there in Hawkins County. Hard to cloud in the sky anywhere near the Tri-Cities. That's going to be the case all day long with all this sunshine. Highs near 80 in the Tri-Cities, a light breeze out of the south and west. Gorgeous day ahead. It's going to be cool the next couple of mornings, but we're going to be on cruise control overall, at least into Friday morning. We'll look ahead to the next weather maker for this weekend here in just a bit.
I think we're all going to enjoy this week ahead. So
fantastic.
Really nice weather out there. Great weather to head out to cast your ballot today, as it is election day across the Tennessee and Virginia. Voters headed there. We're tracking 80 races in our region. In Virginia, if you're headed to the polls for local elections where seats in the school board, board of mayor and aldermen, and town councils and mayor's races are being decided today. Tennessee voters are deciding local primaries, but in some cases this will also decide the general election because there's no other person running on a different ticket or independent in many of those races. But if you are headed out to vote today, some things you need to keep in mind. In Virginia, polls opening this morning at 6, a little less than an hour from now. They'll close tonight at 7. In Tennessee, most polls are open from 8 to 8, but in Greene County, they open at 9 this morning and will close at 8 tonight. To vote in either state, you will need your photo ID. Be sure to take that along with you. And as we said, we're tracking more than 80 races, and that's just the ones we're looking at here this morning. Complete Election Day coverage on News 5 WCYB throughout the day, on our News 5 mobile app as well, and also online, WCYB.com. A lot of eyes on a contested Republican primary race for mayor, the county mayor's race in Washington County, Tennessee, where Dan Eldridge is not seeking a re-election. More than 6,300 people have already early voted in that county, and that doesn't include the absentee ballots. The race for mayor features Joe Grandy, Mark Ferguson, and David Tomita. It's become a heated back and forth between the candidates over the past few weeks.
You can take that tone in a national election because you're not going to run into the President of the United States at the grocery store or sit next to them in church or again, have to work with those folks on things that are vital to our community.
Washington County polls open this morning at 8. They'll close at 8 tonight. A number of election signs stolen over the weekend in Hawkins County, all ending up in the same yard, according to the election administrator, Donna Sharp. She tells us the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office collected those signs. Chief Deputy Tony Allen says about 100 signs taken in all. They're usually ranging in price from $10 to $30 to make.
Right now we don't have a suspect. Like I said, you know, a lot of times this is a practical joke, and it would actually, we'd have to speak with each person who's running for office to see if they would really want to file a charge against, more than likely, juveniles playing a prank on someone else.
Any candidate missing a sign can pick those up at the sheriff's office. The body of a Wise County 18-year-old found in Middle Tennessee in a river has been identified. According to rescue officials, the body of Tyler Flannery was recovered from the Caney Fork River east of Nashville on Sunday morning. Emergency responders received a call about a father and son needing help after their kayak flipped over there on the river Saturday afternoon. The father was able to make it to shore. The son did not. The search for his body recovered him on Sunday morning. A $2,400 fine for Eastman Chemical Company after the Tennessee Occupational Health and Safety Office inspectors found regulation violations. That inspection happened the day after the October 4th explosion. 3 serious citations found, including not having a written out procedure on how to maintain process equipment. The incident was blamed on an old valve involved in Eastman's coal gasification process. Eastman says it's making all the necessary corrections to keep that from happening again. Florida-based Cova Golf Management has assumed the management of the Country Club of Bristol. The previous management stepped down earlier this year following months of financial struggles. The golf course at the semi-private club has reopened for the season yesterday. They announced a series of property-wide enhancement projects as well, including a golf course restoration and a new restaurant. The presidents of the company saying that the history of the club is really what drove them to take it over.
Really didn't want to see this club go, and you hear so many stories about golf clubs throughout the country closing their doors for various reasons, and the community was here to support it. They just needed somebody to come in and make an effort and connect to it, and that's something that was right up our alley.
He says they've already reached out to existing members about membership under the new management, saying they'll talk to about 300 members and are confident that most are going to stay on board. Head to the Weather Center to find out if it'll be a good golf day for us. David's over there right now. Sounds like a warm afternoon, maybe a good day to play golf all week.
Looking fantastic over the next few days. And temperatures this morning are cool, but not as cold as yesterday. Running about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than yesterday morning. Many spots are in the upper 30s to lower 40s. A few locations already near 50. Those locations already seeing a mild breeze. We'll all see a breeze out the southwest later on today. You're going to need that jacket at the bus stop this morning, then the short sleeves as you head home. Highs in the 70s to near 80 degrees. We're going to look ahead to even warmer days. I'll show you how close we're going to get to record highs here in just a few minutes.
Breaking news right now, just coming into the newsroom. We're following a massive apartment fire that's broken out in Brazil. We've just obtained some pictures and cell phone video from the currently right there at the scene. Just look how massive this is. Don't know exactly what caused the fire or how many people have been injured at this point, but we're going to keep an eye on that one. There's just intense fire there that's burning in Brazil right now. We're following that. Fire department, emergency crews on the scene there, but definitely a serious situation unfolding there. The first 8 members of a caravan and the Central American migrants entered the U.S. territory seeking asylum yesterday. This comes after a months-long journey through Mexico. 8 women and children walked through a door at the San Bernardino port entry, bidding of a Customs and Border Patrol officer. A Reuters witness said that hours after, Vice President Mike Pence promised that they would be processed in line with U.S. law. Asylum requests will continue there today. 3 weeks after Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg was grilled on Capitol Hill, software developers from around the world are in San Jose for a social network's annual conference. Jennifer Bjorklund is there with more.
From now on, Facebook will do more to keep you safe and protect your privacy.
A TV commercial for a social network that has never had to advertise. And voluntary, paid even, exposure for a CEO who generally avoids the spotlight. This commercial debuting just a few weeks after Mark Zuckerberg was called to Capitol Hill to answer after consulting firm Cambridge Analytica harvested data from as many as 87 million Facebook profiles without the user's knowledge. Information potentially used in an effort to influence elections.
If you've messaged anybody this week, would you share with us the names of the people you've messaged?
Senator, no, I would probably not choose to do that publicly here.
I think that may be what this is all about. Your right to privacy.
The rights of users' privacy on the free platform versus the third-party software developers' rights to the information offered by those using those free services. Well, it's a delicate balance.
What we've done is really made changes to make sure that no one takes advantage of the platform, right? And so we're putting precautions in place to really make sure that going forward, that everyone is safe.
Facebook's Menlo Park campus is abuzz with talks of augmented reality and new technology set to be announced over the next 2 days. But in the current climate, the key thing Facebook users will be watching for in any new feature or product is privacy. Jennifer Bjork.
The Pennsylvania State Prosecutor's Office releasing details of their investigation into the Penn State fraternity hazing death. Pennsylvania's Attorney General saying that his office has completed its review of the death and hazing death of fraternity pledge Tim Piazza. He will provide details this morning at a news conference. Piazza, a Penn State sophomore, suffered a series of falls during an evening of hazing and drinking there at the fraternity house in February of 2017. He subsequently died of severe head and abdominal injuries. A little more than a week after a shooter took 4 lives at a Tennessee Waffle House, many in that area now just wanting to get back to normal. Matt Alvarez from our sister station in Nashville has more on the community's recovery.
2 separate memorials are outside Waffle House as a reminder of who our city lost. For the past 8 days since the shooting, people have brought their well wishes and memories of the 4 people who were killed. Inside, 17-year-old Tamia Nichols, who wasn't here on the morning of the shooting, has returned to work for the first time since that terrible day.
When did they open?
Tammy is Tamia's mom.
She wanted me to come up here. She called me to come up here and be with her. She said it doesn't feel the same, so I'm just checking it out, and I told her to be her decision if she wants to leave or stay.
It's a terrible thing that happened. I mean, the people that died here shouldn't have died. I mean, it could have been prevented, but the money is going to help their families.
Ronnie Weaver knows he's sitting near the spot where James Shaw Jr. became a hero.
He is a hero. Yeah, thinking about what he done, I mean, at my age, I probably couldn't have done that. That's why I usually go armed.
I heard about the proceeds for the rest of the month going to the victims' families, so I thought it was a good cause.
Hallie Hilleman had been introduced to Waffle House when she moved to Nashville from Minnesota 2 years ago. She spent today thinking about the victims and their families.
It's kind of surreal. I read about it in the news, obviously, and it was tragic. And, you know, these things happen over and over again in the world now, but you never expect it to happen so close.
Now, all proceeds for the next month are going toward the victims' families, and customers are coming back to eat and help out with raising that money. Meteorologist David Boyd stepping in here now to talk about our weather as you head out the door on your Tuesday. Nice and warm this afternoon. This morning, David, looks like a beautiful sunrise for us.
And it's scheduled for 6:36 this morning. Temperatures will be in the upper 30s first thing in the Tri-Cities, up to 44 at 8 o'clock, so you'll probably want that jacket early on. But with all the sunshine ahead, UV index 9, very high, so we could easily get a sunburn later on today. Wall-to-wall sunshine, breeze out the southwest the next few days, pushing the pollen index into the very high category. Any rain that might help to lower the pollen levels? We'll look at the latest forecast after the break.
The Storm Track 5 weather team, alerting you to severe weather danger.
Well, we just wrapped up the month of April, and it's going to go down as the 7th coolest April on record in the Tri-Cities. Several chilly days. Precipitation-wise, just a little bit shy of average, but overall pretty close to the average mark. Now, the next few days, the first few days of May, looking above average temperature-wise. We're going to get warmer and warmer and slowly turn more humid. As we look at the humidity outlook, still very, very low humidity levels today. Turning a little bit more humid Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, especially into Saturday. Dew points around 60 degrees, which puts us in the moderate humidity category. That's going to aid in the chance of some showers as well. But this morning is clear, cool, 39, the Tri-Cities airport. Not quite as cold as yesterday morning, but this afternoon with all the sunshine, highs around 75 to 80 degrees, so about 5 degrees warmer than yesterday. And lows tonight, we're going to be in the mid to upper 40s, so once again, not as cold as this morning. There's that big dome of high pressure continuing to keep us dry and blocking weather systems from moving in. But our next weather maker taking shape across the central U.S., some showers, some storms near into the north and east of Omaha. An area of low pressure is developing further to the west, and a big southerly flow out ahead of it and to the east of a big area of high pressure off the coast. And that's what's bringing all this warm air, 70s and 80s across much of the eastern United States, even Boston up to 83 degrees tomorrow, 80 in Kansas City, and they're going to be seeing higher humidity levels. While for us, the humidity levels will be slowly inching up. These humidity levels are going up quickly in the central U.S., helping to fuel some storms. And there's an enhanced risk of severe storms near Omaha today. That's a level 3 out of 5 risk. A larger risk of an enhanced risk from Kansas City, Wichita, Oklahoma City going into Wednesday. Then the storms shift eastward on Thursday, but still staying to our north and west thanks to that big dome of high pressure. And one round of storms later on today near Omaha, pushing to the east, but staying to our north. And then going into Wednesday, another round of storms. Same thing, heading to the east, staying to our north, and going into Thursday as well. So we're just going to be dealing with a warming trend for tomorrow, upper 70s to lower 80s. Even warmer Thursday, around 80 to 85 degrees. And then by Friday, that front gets a little bit closer, upper 70s to lower 80s. And there's a chance for a couple of isolated showers, isolated thunder showers late in the day on Friday. And here comes that front. Now, there's still a question mark on exactly how quickly it's going to push through the region. So a chance of rain this weekend, but it still does not look like the entire weekend will be wet. Now, for today, near 80, ton of sunshine. Lows tonight around 47 degrees, clear skies. Your Storm Track 5 7-day forecast up to 85 on Thursday, well above the average of 72, and not too far away from the record high of 89 set back in 1942. And here comes those rain chances late on Friday. Scattered showers Saturday and Sunday. Looks like highs will cool just a bit into the 70s and drying out again by Monday of next week. So looking nice and warm the next few days.
Nice and warm. I hate to see all the rain there on the weekend, but I tell you what, we're not going to complain at all about that nice warm week ahead of us.
That's true.
But a lot of concern right now for some folks in Florida. They've got a serious issue there. In one neighborhood, they can't do anything but watch, wait, worry, and hope after sinkholes opened up near their homes. Many have already been evacuated. Others wondering, could they be next? Geotech engineers working diligently to secure testing and check out the holes there. The city engineer counts at least 8 families had to be forced to evacuate there in that one neighborhood.
A bag ready in case they say, yeah, you need to evacuate. We can just grab it and get out.
The Homeowners Association there in Ocala, Florida has been updating everyone with a phone app there. The HOA has paid thousands of dollars to fill sinkholes there since 2012. We're back with more of News 5 Today, continuing here in just a moment. We're a little less than 10 minutes ahead of 6. Stay with us. The most senior Vatican official to be charged in the Catholic Church sex abuse crisis will stand trial. Cardinal George Pell will face at least one charge at trial after being accused of sexually abusing multiple victims decades ago. Pell will plead not guilty if the magistrate decides against dismissing the charges. Pell, Pope Francis's former finance minister, was charged last June with sexually abusing multiple people at his Australian home in the state of Victoria. The details of the allegations against the 76-year-old have yet to be released to the public, but are believed to be from several decades ago. A new piece of legislation named for the late son of former Vice President Joe Biden has been signed into law in the state of Delaware. The Beau Biden Gun Violence Prevention Act restricts access to firearms for those who have mental health professionals believe are a danger to themselves or others. Delaware Governor John Carney signed the act yesterday. It passed unanimously by the General Assembly.
Beau possessed a strong belief that we have to continue to move in the right direction. We couldn't solve every problem immediately, but we could chip away and just continue to change the equation.
Beau Biden died of brain cancer in 2015 at the age of 46. Let's get over to David right now, find out what it's like as you get ready to drive into work this morning. 5 in front of 6 this morning. David, what are we seeing on the cameras out there?
Clear skies all across northeast Tennessee, southwest Virginia. Just a little bit of fog in a few spots. Visibility down to 5 miles in Greenville. As you step out the door, 30s and 40s. So you may want to jacket first thing. And then highs today, 70s to near 80 degrees. Looks like we're going to be in the 70s and 80s all around the Tri-Cities area for today. So we'll look down the road coming up.